Hey everyone, it's Matt, and I'm back with another episode of Q&A with Matt K. This is where you get to watch me, a 22 plus year veteran of Salesforce consulting, try to answer a question or solve a problem on the fly with no preparation. You get to see the good, the bad, the ugly. You get to see a little behind the scenes of what it's like working at a consulting firm. Of course, I can't show actual questions from our clients or work in their orgs. So I have to answer questions that are submitted either directly to us at quick2.click/Q&A or on Trailhead. You can submit questions on Trailhead or on Reddit, possibly even Stack Overflow. But if you want to make sure that I answer your question, and I do so for free, or at least I attempt to answer your question, quick2.click/Q&A. And before we jump into it, a friendly reminder that if you are watching this for the first time, welcome. Please like and subscribe so that you can get alerted to new videos when I post them. And if you're a long-time viewer who likes to come and watch me struggle, like and subscribe some more, right? It might maybe one day you'll learn something, or if not, you just can enjoy watching me struggle. So please remember to do that. With that, let's jump in. I found this question today, posted to Trailhead. I'll try to zoom in and make it a little better for you guys. Sannith writes, I want to capture the number of days that the opportunity stage taken to change from the present stage to previous stage, and number of days that it is present in the present stage by using a formula. Very common request. I think this is something I've been doing for, at this point, decades, unfortunately. Probably since formula fields came out, we've been doing this type of calculation, both on opportunities, but also on cases a lot as well. And you can obviously do it on custom objects too. So I like this question. I think it's one that is actually really useful because it allows you to use standard reports to do some analysis on maybe where your sales process is slowing down or could be made more efficient. So let's jump in to my Trailhead playground. Again, this is not a real org, so we can do whatever we want here. And actually, before I get this set up, let's take a look at an opportunity and see what our options are. So there are a couple options here. Let's look at this former opportunity. So on an opportunity, obviously we have the stage field, which is also called stage name behind the scenes. And we do have opportunity history as well as opportunity field history. So opportunity is a little different in that the page doesn't load when I'm sharing my screen. Let's try that one more time. No, opportunity is a special object because there are two history tracking on opportunities. There we go. There's the field history tracking, and then there's also stage history tracking. So it is a little special. The data that one would need to kind of do this math is actually already available in both the field history or stage history, depending on how you have your field history set up. But it's not going to show up on the opportunity itself. And that's what I think the question is asking. And so the idea is, knowing how long we were in, the perception analysis stage and proposal price quote stage, et cetera, et cetera. Now, part of the problem with these types of fields, if we were to do it with a field, is you can see in this particular org, let me just mark it back. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stages. It's technically a closed loss, so it's 10. And that's just on this one type of record, so this one record type. It's possible that there's more stages for a different record type with a different sales process. So it doesn't necessarily scale well to create fields for all of this stuff. That, is tricky, definitely tricky. Now the question itself, when we jump back, says number of days. So Sannith doesn't specifically say a certain stage. So it sounds like it's more about, hey, how long have we been in this particular stage, which is a lot easier to track. And then maybe also, how long were we in the previous stage? I think that might be what is being asked there. But this concept can now be applied to all sorts of situations, right? So once we master this process of tracking a stage duration, we should be pretty good, I think. So having said that, let's jump to setup and go to opportunities. And I'm going to create a field, and we need this field to be current stage duration. I'm just going to make sure I don't have anything in there. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and, ooh, wait a minute. Let's create a date field. You could even do a date time field, depending on how accurate you want to be. Do I want to be that accurate? I don't think I do. I just want to do a date field. And so I'm going to say date, or maybe current stage start date. How about that? That sounds good, right? Current stage start date. Next, 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 and next. Okay, and then I'm going to create another field. This one will be a formula, right? And this one will be current stage duration, something like that. And this will be a number. Maybe put in days like that. There we go. Okay, this will be a number. We want it to be a number of days. It should have 0 decimal places. We don't need decimal places. Okay, and I'm going to create a formula that says today minus my new field called current stage start date. And let's hit next and put this on the page. I might need to update the page just to make it a little cleaner, but we'll do that in a second and hit save. There we go. Okay, so let's just test this out. I like to build things in parts, right? Make sure I'm going down the right path ahead of time. So let's go ahead and edit this page. Oop, wrong option. Edit this page. There we go. And let's just make sure that those fields are on the screen in a place where I can see them. Right now it's not automated. I just want to test that the fields actually work. I can probably take away some of this other stuff. So here we have current stage start date. And where is the other field? Current stage duration. Oh, weird. Well, I don't know where it went. There it is. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this other stuff from past videos, because we don't need that. Okay, that's looking better. Let's hit save. Ignore an error that I probably should figure out one day, and go back. Okay, and so again, not automated yet, but let's just see what happens if I were to put yesterday's date in here. Now you all know what today's date is. Current stage duration is 1. And if I were to put the first of the month, 26. Great. Seems like it's working. So now all I need is to find a way to get this date field to be populated automatically. And for that, we could definitely use Apex. We could use a trigger. It would be a before trigger. We could also use flow. And I'm going to follow the best practice that if you can do something declaratively, do it declaratively. So we're going to do this. I'm going to have a new flow. And this will be a start from scratch. Sure, we're going to have a record triggered flow. So every time an opportunity is saved, we want it to be every time a record is updated or created. Yes, updated or created. That sounds right. And opportunity. And the condition requirements are going to be that the opportunity stage name is changed. Can I do that? Let's do it this way, maybe. Is changed. There we go. Is true. Perfect. Okay. And we want a fast field update, which is like a before trigger. So it's going to happen as we save the record instead of after we save the record. And let's close that. And let's just say assignment. We're going to set the current state, or set, well, we can I don't know, populate fields or set stage dates. It doesn't really matter what we call it. And it's going to be the triggering opportunity dot current stage start date equals, and then it's going to be today. Let's see if I can find today. No, I have to go to running flow interview, I think. Current date. There we go. Perfect. Current date, not today. Got to remember that. And let's go ahead and save this, and then we'll test it out. This is going to be set stage dates. And I'm doing it that way on purpose because I think I'm going to build on this some more before we're done with this video. Let's follow the best practice of testing this out. So here's the form opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and hit debug. Let's pretend that form opportunity was just created. Opportunity, former opportunity, great. I guess it has to run in rollback mode, sure. Let's skip the start condition. You know, let's not skip it. Let's see what happens. It didn't meet the condition. Interesting, interesting. So we might need to adjust this for if stage name is changed equals true. Well, you know what we could say? Okay, how about this? Current stage start date equals or is null. Let's do that. And the reason we're doing that is that way I'll make this an or. We'll hit save. Do I need to save it as a new version? Let's save it as a new version. Can't hurt. And let's debug it again. Okay, there we go. So it did work that time. Perfect. That's what I wanted. And then it rolled back. Okay, let's activate it. And let's test it. First, I'm going to test it. Well, let me refresh this page, make sure it really is blank before I do anything. Okay, it's blank. Let's change it to qualification. Now, what should happen is this date should get filled in. And it did. Great. Wonderful. That's exactly what I needed. And now we can have this counter that will basically, you know, if had I done this a month ago, we'll have this counter that will continue to keep track of the current stage duration. Now, one thing that you may want to do while we're here, often you don't want the stage duration to be counting for closed lost or closed won. So let's adjust the formula while we're at it, assuming that that's the case. It's not always the case, but I do like that formula, that option, because otherwise the number kind of skews all your metrics. So I would recommend blanking out the number if the opportunity is not closed. So if is closed, closed should be a field here, closed, there we go, it's a Boolean field. If is closed equals false, that's one way to do it. There's other ways of doing it. We're going to do this, otherwise we're going to do this, and then we'll test this. So this will work for closed won and closed lost. Let's just check that out. Expected number received text. If, because it's a number. Oh, interesting. Can I do that? That might work. Okay, so let's check this out. Nothing should have changed so far, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to closed, which marked as closed won, and this should get blanked out. Perfect. See, I want that blank there. And that way, like I said, our reports, you're not going to have these huge numbers for opportunities that were closed 3 years ago. It's going to just skew all your metrics and make it really hard. Plus, I don't want you to have to filter out those opportunities. You could, but I don't want you to. I don't want you to have to. You're welcome to. But this will make it a lot easier, especially if you have like power users who maybe aren't super admins or long-time admins. They might forget to filter out won or lost opportunities. We don't want it skewing the metrics, so I love making that change there. Okay, now I want to push this a little further because it sounded like Sannith wanted to know the duration of the previous stage as well. I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I think we can do it. So what I'm going to do is come back to my opportunity fields, and I just want to get this name here. So I'm going to create a field called previous stage start date. And we're going to do this. It's going to be a date field. It's going to say previous stage start date. Okay. And now the only time that this is going to be empty going forward should be when it's a brand new opportunity. And so we've only had one stage so far, right? Yeah. Okay. And then let's create the new formula field as well. Oh, wait, do we need? Yeah, we do need it. Okay. So let's create a new formula field. And this formula is going to be between two dates also. So it's almost the exact same formula, but instead of the two dates being today and the custom field, it's going to be the two custom fields that we have. Okay, so let's just try this out. If okay, so first let's do the is lost, right? So if is or closed. If is closed equals false, comma, and we also need an if that the current start date is not blank. Current stage start date is not blank, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the previous too, because we obviously can't do math between dates that don't exist. Okay, so let's do this in an and. So here's if and this, and if not is blank. I happen to know that by heart, but you can find it over here on the right-hand side in the function picker. Is blank right there. Check to see whether an expression is blank. Right number of parentheses. Okay, so if that is all happening, then I want to do the previous start date. No, I want to do the current start date minus the previous start date. Otherwise, we want it to be null. And let's hit next and next. And I'm having an error apparently that I'm not paying attention to. What is there? Found. Okay. I have an error. Let's see if I can figure it out. So this should be is closed equals false. One parenthesis, two parenthesis. One parenthesis, two parenthesis. Ah, there's a comma there. Whew. Okay. I think there's a Chrome extension that might help with that, but I don't have it. Okay, so I'm going to add this to my opportunity, save. Let's come back to the opportunity record now. We'll try to get this tested. Obviously, it's hard to test this type of stuff when we're testing it within a short video and not over a long period of time, but we'll make it work. Okie doke. So here's our previous start. It's so weird that the formula fields aren't showing up. Anyone, if you know why, please put it in the comment. I would love to know why. That some fields show up on the page automatically and others don't. Hit save. And back. Okay. And let's just test out, right? Manually test it out, and then we'll go back to our flow. Okay, so if it's not closed one, let's go ahead and set it back to qualification. And the current stage, let's pretend that we just went into qualification, but that we had gone into whatever's prior to qualification beforehand. Then yes, that looks right. So if basically 27 minus 1 is 26, right? And so that's right. So now we just have to get this previous stage start date populated. And we can do that by going back to our flow. So let's come to our flow, and I have to decide, can I do this? Can I? How easily can I do this? Let's edit the flow. So one idea I had was to actually just assign it right here in line. But the problem is I'd have to have it in the right order. I'm a little concerned that I can't control the order here. I mean, obviously I can delete this out. I just don't like the idea of these two things happening at the same time. So what I want to do is do a decision here and just say has, I don't know, has current start date. And we're going to say yes. current start date found, and no current start date found. Okay. And so we're setting up this little decision. We could go one way or the other. And so we're going to say the record. Ooh, I might need to zoom out a little. Triggering opportunity, current stage start date is null. So if it's null, we want it to go to the right. And so we're going to set this to false. I know it's a little backwards, but that should work. Okay. And then here, I'm going to do another assignment that says move current to previous. And so we're going to set the triggering opportunity, previous. Ooh, what's the name of my field? Oh, I need to. I know what I need to do. I need to save this as a new version, and then I need to refresh because I created the new field while this screen was open. That's fine. Let's go ahead and refresh the page, and then it'll pull in those new fields. Okay, so after we determine that we do have one, we're going to say triggering opportunity previous. There it is. Stage start date equals triggering opportunity current stage start date. Save. Okay. I should really test this before I just play with the org. Also, I should have given the warning up front. Always do this in a sandbox or dev org or playground before you ever do this in production. You've been warned. Okay, so let's pretend that we moved into the qualification stage on November 6th. I'm going to make sure my flow is active. It is. And today, I'm going to move into the needs analysis stage. Now, what I expect to happen is the 6 should go into here. The dates should get updated here. And the today's date, which is the 27th, should go in here. Let's go ahead and try it out. And it worked. Cool. And so you could theoretically do this for 3, 5, 10 stages without actually naming the stages. And again, the reason I don't personally like to name the stages in my fields is because it doesn't scale well. And over time, our stages may change names, and then we have to also change the fields, and that's kind of a pain, and you have to go through that kind of decision. Are we just changing the labels? Are we also changing the field names, the API names? And if we are changing the API names, then we have to look to see if there's any code affected and so on and so forth, and it just kind of spirals out of control. So if you get this type of request from your business users or management or whoever it may be, stakeholders, etc., try to push back on specific named fields and instead try to do something that's a little more generic and scalable, like current stage, previous stage. I don't know if in English we have the right words necessarily to go back more than previous, but you could come up with a system. So like, stage 0, stage -1, stage -2, or something like that. I don't know. You could come up with something. But this is the way to do it. And then you saw that we just use flow to populate the fields. Super easy, no code needed, and very easy to maintain over time with just the one flow even. So I think I did it. I'm going to go ahead and respond to Sannith's question with a link to this video and some screenshots. Please like the answer if you happen to be watching this video. If not, remember to like and subscribe to this video and all of our channel videos because that helps me do this more often. I got a lot of work to do, but I can justify making more videos like this and helping people out there if we get a lot of subscribers and likes. So thanks again, everyone. Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving for those of you that celebrate, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.